And welcome back, and it's the Corbett Higher Plus 5 a day, and we are doing the 23rd of February today. Let's go with the first question. All right, so a few graphs need to match the graph. Right, okay. This is one of these questions that comes up, started coming up a lot more regularly. Learn your graphs. This is one of these things that, if you know them, it's like a 3-second question. If not, you're going to be sitting there working them out and trying to do them all separately. So let's go through. So y equals 1 over x, well, that's one of those graphs that looks like this. So which is the one that looks closest to this? Well, it's going to be this one here. So therefore, graph 3 goes to equation number 1. Next one, y is proportional to 1 over x. So in other words, what happens is x squared grows quicker and quicker. X square rooted does the opposite, so therefore this is going to be graph number 1. So equation number 2 goes to graph number 1. Now, we know the last one without doing any work, but let's think about why this is. So y is proportional to x, which means that y is some linear relationship with x, which means y is a straight line, so therefore it's going to be this one here. First question done. Next question is right next to us, isn't it? So next question, simplify fully. Now, obviously you have a calculator. In a non-calculator exam or in a international GCSE, it probably says show your working. Now, you can probably just do this because you might be able to see that this divides by 25. So actually it's just the same as 25 times, well, it's going to be 25 times 11, isn't it? So it's 25 times 11, which is going to be 5 root 11. But maybe it's a non-calculator exam and maybe you can't spot that. So the other way of doing this, we're going to do this over here, is you're going to work out that 275 is the same as 5, that's a prime number, times 5, which is the same as 5 times 11, which means that this is also the same as 5 times 5 times 11. Take out the pair of 5, so you take out one number per pair, which gives me 5 on the outside, and that is 5 root 11. Same answer, 2 different ways. Next question. I'm going to zoom in so I can see a bit more. 18 cos 30 plus 2 tan 60 in the form. So it's very clearly telling me what to do. Now you should know, and I won't explain why here, you should know that cos 30 is the same as root 3 over 2. And obviously by you should know, I mean by the time you get to your exams. And I know tan 60, well that's the same as root 3. So in other words, I'm adding root 3's together. Deal with this one. 18 divided by 2 is 9, so that's 9 root 3. 2 root 3 is 2 root 3. Add these things together and I get 11 root 3. And that is the answer to that question. Next question. The population of an island is decreasing exponentially, which means the equation is going to be the population is equal to a to the power of minus t. Now you could use y and x, but here I'm trying to say that p, the population, is some number that I don't know to the power of a negative time because it's going down as time goes on. Then it tells me that someone has measured the populations each year, and in year 6 it goes from, so actually I don't need to use the exponential, do I? I could just use a scale factor. So I know population 2, 4, 6, 8. To go from 6 to 8, I'm going to multiply by 2,000 over 3,000, which is 2 over 3. So in other words, to go this way, I'm going to divide by 2 over 3. And to go this way, I'm going to divide by 2 over 3 again. So I'm going to do 3,000 divided by 2 over 3 squared. Get my calculator out, and that's going to be 3,000 divided by 2 over 3 squared, which is going to be 6750. Happy with that one. Looks reasonable. Next question. And final question. The area of a circle is 400. Oh, it's going to be a bounds question, isn't it? Okay, let's write this down. So the area is 400 centimeters to 1 sig fig. So the sig fig above is 500 and the sig fig below is 300, which means that's 350 and that's 450. Work out the lower bound for the circumference of the circle. Now, okay, I want to work out the lower bound for the circumference. To work out a circumference, I need a radius because it's 2 pi r. So therefore, the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to say the smallest area is going to give the smallest circumference. So my area equals 350, which equals pi r squared, which means my radius is the square root of 350 over pi. So 350 divided by pi, square rooted is 10.555. 10.555. Now we're using a few decimal places because I want to get the final answer as accurately as possible. Then I need the lower bound for the circumference, so that's going to be 2 times pi times r, which is the r I've just worked out. So it's already on my calculator screen, so I'm going to multiply that by 2, multiply that by pi, and I get 66.319150044, which I'm going to round to 66.3. Does it give me a unit? Yes, it does. Centimeters. And it's a length, so it's centimeters. And that is the final question done. Actually, you know what? I might leave a few more. I might do an in between. I might write down 66.3191 just as a sort of working step, just so it's clear that I've got more decimal places, because you're not sure what the answer is going to round it to. Either way, question done. Good. Again, mix of questions today. So we're getting more and more different types of question each day, which is exactly what you need. You need to practice different types of questions. Usual thing, do like and subscribe, and I'll see you for tomorrow. Thanks all.